Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Karamoyan, and let's get to it. So I know that I've mentioned multiple times that I'm an intern at a startup based in Texas, but I don't think I ever mentioned the name of the company. If I have, I don't remember. I know if you go to my Twitter, you'll see the name. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see it. I'm an intern at Archetype Dynamics. It's a software consultancy agency. I've been given the opportunity to be there and I've learned a ton, especially in the back end, which is my role. The cool thing about being in a startup is that you wear so many different hats. So for the most part, I've been focusing on my feature, which is completely back end. And I was given the opportunity to come in real quick and do some front end stuff yesterday and the day before. And I was so happy because I've been working on Java only, and all I see is my code editor. So it was finally awesome to go back, do something in the front end, and actually see a visual what I'm doing. It's not that I don't like back end, but it gets to a point that you only look at your code editor or your database. So it was fun to jump real quick, do some front end stuff. Yeah, so Archetype Dynamics, that's the internship that I'm in. So now let's talk about my week. This week I've been focusing on a lot of things. So I was doing certain things for the internship, but I was also working on my personal portfolio, which is ready to go. I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's simple, but I love it. I'm obsessed with my personal portfolio. I already have it hosted and everything. So if you look around and you try hard enough, you might be able to find it, but I don't have the link anywhere. Very simple, but I'm obsessed with it because I don't, you'll see it eventually. Oh, and the other thing that my portfolio has is that you can download the resume that I have. I've been updating my resume on and off, and it's crazy because I had a version 1. It was too, I don't know, it just didn't make sense much for tech. And a friend of mine sent me his resume, and it was so simple. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? I think I like his resume more. I actually worked around it and used his resume and shaped mine based on his. And I love how my resume looks like. There's a couple more things that probably I could improve on, but it's ready to showcase. And so the other thing is I've been all in when it comes to database migration and obsessed with that. How does database migration works using Flyway? I can show you the code from a personal project. Something that I've been learning about how you do it, right? You go to the source, main, resources, and then you have a file called db, and what you do is you have one that is called migration, and essentially it has a SQL after you do a pg dump from Supabase, and it has the schema of your database. So you're able to churn your schema that you have in Supabase, have it on a SQL file, and then you can run it locally and do different profiles. So you can see here I have a local profile that connects to my PostgreSQL database, which is this, and then I have the Supabase profile, which is my production profile. So I just got to change it from Supabase to local, and it's good to go. Today what I was doing was making sure that my v1 baseline works perfectly, migrates to my PostgreSQL database, which is local, as you can see here, and it worked phenomenally. And then the other thing that I was making sure was I added a test data, and that's what does is literally adds and creates a bunch of the tables, so I don't have to add and re-add a bunch of things. It's already there. So when I run the local file, what it does is the migration dependency that I use is going to check the different version that it has, and then if it's the same, then it's not going to change or add anything. So I think as a backend engineer, it's a very cool skill to have, how to migrate databases, which is something that I never had to deal with because I was working on my own. So what I'm doing a lot is implementing the things that I'm learning on my internship into my projects. So this is very cool, and I think this really came from the outage of AWS a couple of weeks back, and I remember I was stuck, and then I asked my team lead. He was like, all you have to do is just migrate your database from production to your local, and you can keep working on your features, and when the services come back up, you just switch profiles and then you go back to production and you're good to go. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.